Friday nights, living the dream.
Absolutely.
Right there, okay. Hey, YouTube, Barney Black here. I've got my good friend Ian Young, little E to everybody that knows him well. And the reason for putting this video together was at the start of June, I had set myself a challenge of running 30 days. 3 days in, I had an injury. That was it. My challenge was written off. But I did know that my friend Ian was doing the same kind of challenge for different reasons. And I thought it would be good to hear his experiences, his journeys, what he's learned, what he plans next. And we just thought we would put that on the vlog for those that are interested in running streaks, how we raise money for charity might be something Ian could talk about. And you know what? Just the whole experience about what it takes to actually run 30 days straight. And everything that you've got to overcome on the way to achieving that. So, hey Ian, how you doing?
I'm good, Barney. How are you? You
I'm good,
okay?
mate. Yeah, brilliant, my man. Thank you for taking the time.
Not a
Um,
problem. Thanks
I
for
know
having me.
it's for those that don't know, this is a Friday night, so it's the end of the week, and I'm sure Ian's got other things to be getting on with. So thank you very much for doing this. And I guess it would be useful just to hear a little bit your running background, before we get into talking about your 30-day streak.
Yeah. My name's Ian Young. Do you know what? Running has always been a kind of passion of mine from when I was younger. And I always remember being at high school and doing cross country for the school and stuff, and different events, and being from Dundee and going to St Saviour's High School and running for the school, etc. And it was just something that I really enjoyed. For me, it was a total mindset thing as well. As when you're out running, you're just able to channel your thoughts. For me, it was just a massive way to burn my energy, because I've got loads and loads of energy, and Barney, I've known you
Yeah.
for many years. And it was a great way for me just to channel that energy in the right way, but just making sure that I burnt it because I had so much. So yeah, it was I just had a real passion for running, and my stepdad, Ian, he's just a massive runner, and he's running for the Hot Goal Harriers in Dundee as well. And I guess it was just growing up with him from a younger age and seeing him going running. And I played football quite a lot. So I used to play at left midfield, and I was always known as being quite a fast being midfielder. So I guess that running helped us when I was playing football, because I wasn't the biggest. So everybody knows me and knows that I'm not the biggest football player. But one thing I did have was a bit of pace. So that really helped.
Made
So
up for
running,
it in skill, Ian. Made up for it in skill.
well, I would say skill, I'd say skill, but yeah, possibly. But I just kind of always had that to get up and go, and the motivation behind it, just to and it just followed me to kind of an older age, and especially in work. I think the biggest thing in lockdown now, being working from home, it's given me an opportunity to spend more time on my running. Where I'd work away from home quite a lot, and I'd try and get as much runs as I can, and I'd say take my running stuff to the gym, and time you finish work and you're sitting in the hotel, you never do it. So I've actually made sure I've got that balance absolutely spot on.
Yeah, we justify things to ourselves very easily. We're our biggest forgivers of ourselves.
Yeah, it's too
You'll
easy.
do longer tomorrow, or further tomorrow, or harder tomorrow.
And it's too easy to make excuses, and that was one of the things during this challenge, and it came in my head at one point was, do you know what? I set myself a challenge to do a minimum of 5K a day, and a minimum of 5K, but I was doing so much more when we talk about it later on. But I thought, you know what? You can miss it today, and you'll do 10K tomorrow. But it wasn't the fact that you were doing that; it was the mindset again about every single day. That's what you set your challenge for.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Yeah, absolutely, every day. So, let's talk about you. You're obviously a runner experience. You've done various events through the years. Fit guy into sports and activities in general. 30-day. Had you done a 30-day challenge before running?
Never. So I'd never done a 30-day challenge before, and I remember sitting in a meeting with you one time, Barney. It must have been a year and a half ago.
Last November, I did it.
Last November, and you talked about this 30-day challenge, and I remember saying this to you, I'm doing it 100%, and I lasted 3 days. I never committed to it. I lasted 3 days, I remember it, and I can remember saying to myself, I wish I'd done it.
Yeah.
I never committed to it. And I will go runs. I used to go once, twice a week, doing a couple of runs here and there, and I went training and stuff like that, and kept myself kind of fit. But that was the last time I seen MD commit to that 30-day run, was when we had that chat in that meeting.
Yeah. So, start of June, you decided to step up and make that commitment to yourself as much as anybody else.
Yeah,
The first commitment is to yourself before you share it. So,
yeah.
what was your motivation? What was the deciding factor that this time you were going to see what it take to do 30 days straight?
Well, to be honest with you, I seen your Twitter message, and I thought that kind of inspired us. It really did inspire us. I thought, do you know what? Here's my another opportunity for me to
Yeah,
get on board and try it again. And I thought there's never been a better time to do it because, well, there's nowhere else to go. You can still go out running, etc. And then I seen the 30-day challenge, and then I thought I'm going to do it. I'm going to set myself a 5K minimum every day, and that was based on what you were going to do also. And then it kind of built up from there that a couple of days later, I seen a good mate, well, a friend up in Dundee who was raising a bit of money for his mother who kind of, after unexpected, had liver and bowel cancer diagnosis. And they would need to raise up to 15 grand to send her abroad to get some treatment during this difficult time. And I thought, if I ever needed any more motivation to go out and do something and give me a
yeah.
reason to do it, and I took that on the basis of using the 30-day challenge and raising money for charity and bringing both of them together.
It's puts into context, the difficulty of running 30 days is nothing compared to what your friend
Oh,
Mum's gone through.
not on nothing at all. And those days, and I'm to be honest, I'm not going to lie to you, there was hard days where getting that motivation, where I'd left the run in the morning and I said I'll do it at night, and the time I'd finished working and I'd deliver online sessions for training that I do. It was hard. And some of the runs ranged from, I mean, I'd done 2 half marathons during the run. Some of the runs were 5Ks. So I'd set myself up to kind of different runs also. So road runs, off-road trails. I live on the coast, so I'm really lucky. So a really mixture of runs, because there is a risk that it becomes boring.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
it
Yeah.
does, and that mindset and the kind of fixed mindset kicks in of making excuses, but actually being able to have a couple of people around me locally, like I had Neil, one of Rowan's friends, dad's really good runner, amazing. He's doing the London Marathon, and he's
Right.
training up to that. So to be able to run with him and be able to kind of train with him really helped a lot. And a couple of neighbours across the road, so going out now and again. So that really helped. You've got people around
Right.
you that are getting you
So,
out also.
so that sounds like some of the things behind what might motivated you day to day to day to day. We're talking about your highlights or some of your own personal highlights through the 30 days. But what were the kind of things you've touched on a few? But what were the real motivational features that kept you going?
Yeah. Do you know what? The biggest thing that I learned was my endurance,
Yeah,
the ability that I was able to kick on and go further
yeah,
and further during my runs. And when I was actually bringing it back down to do 5Ks, I mean, there was some 5Ks I was doing 22 minutes. There were some runs where I was doing
amazing.
6.5 minutes to 7 minute miles. And when you're doing on Strava and you get that kind of that PR of getting
Yeah,
your personal best as well, it kind of gives you that buzz.
that's
But I gradually, when I was going out on my own, I was picking up my pace and I was pushing myself to get that faster and faster. And some of the runs, I realised that I was going for distance over pace. But I mean, I'm not getting any
that's
younger.
okay.
I'm not getting any younger. But the motivation for me, some of the really good points was the endurance, the distance that I'm able to go. And I'm going to tick off a marathon. That's my next thing, is I'm ticking off a marathon,
Oh,
because
that's
I've done
good to hear.
marathons. I mean, I've done the Great North Run, and I remember doing that when I came back from an injury where, if you remember, I got keel surgery on my knee,
Yeah,
and I came back from an injury, and the doctors had said to me, you won't be able to play football again, you'll not be able to run again, kind of way you're used to. And you know me, if somebody says you won't or can't do something, it's kind of, I go against that. And I remember doing it, and I done it in 1 hour 45 minutes, and I was kind of pleased with that.
good pace. It's
So
a great pace.
during these runs, though, I kind of went back and remembered that of what I used to be, what I could have, what I was able to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the key points was massive. I was getting some really good text messages from people, phone calls from people, family and friends, the donations that were coming through. It was just amazing to see how people were just encouraging you. It was brilliant.
Nice one, mate. You've talked a lot there about some of the high points as well. Are there any real kind of moments or any days which stand out
Yeah.
because of what the days were all about, or
Yeah.
Just what were the kind of real, what are the high points that would encourage others maybe to do something similar?
Do you know what I would say? No matter what the weather is, get out and run. I remember some days and I was absolutely soaked.
Yeah.
And I came in and I was drenched, and you've got the wind blowing in your face, etc. And the conditions are not the best. And sometimes when you're hitting a run, you think, I'll just stop here.
Yeah.
But actually, I used to always, and I had that a couple of times where I'll just stop here. I've hit my minimum, I've hit my 5K. But I've always got the fact that I always start where I finish. And it's
Yeah.
like, you've got to, and I want to finish it. And I never, ever stopped. I kept that going. So some of the low points where you could have, the runs, I mean, there's a run, for example, where I would run where I stay and along the coast, and I would turn back into the kind of the country roads. The way you turn back in, the elevation's huge. And yet when I get to that point, I'm like, why did I do it? But actually, by doing that, it's not flat all the time. I was able to build it up. So I think that really helped changing the runs. But yeah, some of the low points could be, how did I've came this far and I need to turn back.
Well, I was thinking, at the start you talked about you did different distances of runs through the 30 odd days. Before you started, what was the longest run you had done recently up to that point, up to the starting point?
So I was up to the starting point. I was just going out and doing 5Ks.
Okay.
I was going out and doing 5Ks, and that was it. I was what I set myself for, and I started building up more and more. So to be honest with you, 5Ks, Barnett, that's all I've been doing.
Okay, so you've gone with a 5K kind of mindset. That was really your minimum on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But you said that you did 2 half marathons in there. I think, if I'm right as well, looking at some of your posts, you were doing 8-9 miles occasionally as well through your streak. So when did you begin to feel confident about stretching the distance?
When I was actually out on the runs. So I felt my breathing. So one of the hardest points of the runs was usually the first mile. It's the breathing I always need to get sorted, and getting that rhythm of your breathing.
Yeah.
And once I got that, it really just I made it a lot easier for me. But the longer the runs that were going on, I thought I could actually push this a little bit more. And I think there was one run, and I think it was before my challenge, was I was 8 miles short of a marathon. And that's probably the longest I'd ran, but it wasn't deliberate. I didn't set out to go and do it.
Just felt good about where you were.
I just felt good about it, and I got to the point where I was 80 miles off, and I thought I probably could have went on and finished it, but I pushed myself. I thought, do you know what? I went on during the challenge, half marathons. There was 10Ks there. There was maybe a couple of 12Ks in there as well, but the overall mileage was, it was 148 miles, just over 148 miles that I ran in 38 days. So that's probably around about 239K.
Yeah. So
to do that, I was really kind of proud. I was proud of myself that I'd done it. And I took it's funny, when I stopped and took a couple of days off, it felt weird. It felt weird.
So when you hit July.
Yeah, when I hit July, and like, and I went out for a run and I took a couple of days off, and it totally felt weird. And I said that to Raoul and my wife, that I was like, I need to get back out. And I went back out for a run, and it was great because you've built it up through that 30 days, so it made it kind of easier to go back out, etc. And my boys, it was great because my little boys came out for a couple of 5Ks with me. And Lucas, he just loves running. He done a 6K with me yesterday, and he's 8-year-old.
I'm going to say, just so for those that do watch this, how old is Lucas?
So Lucas is 8-year-old,
right.
And Lucas he's done a 10K with me. He's done a 5K, and he's proud of his time because he's done a 5K in 26 minutes. And
man, that's amazing.
And he's loving it. And I never push him because he's very young and like his bones and stuff. But to be honest, he wants to get into a running club now. He wants to get into athletics. So he's got the buzz for it, and you can see that, and it makes me so proud watching him run.
And I guess he's probably maybe, Dad, when are we going out for a run? Which keeps you motivated. It's like,
100%, and it's great because, like, you could easily be sitting in your room, or kids could be playing on their Xbox, etc. And you see that so much nowadays. But I think running not only helps you have a conversation with him on the run, but his social skills and stuff as well. And it just makes it gives him that energy and that mindset as well. So I love the fact that he's into his running, and Noah's the same. I mean, my youngest one, I mean, he's only 6, but he loves it as well, and they're full of energy.
Yeah, well, they get that from their dad, I guess.
Yeah,
Knowing you as I do. The family life's obviously really important, but before we kind of talk about how did you balance the day job, even though you've got different kind of circumstances and how you're working, you've clearly got your family life, your wife Rowan, but let's talk tech. Especially, I'm really interested in the fact that some of your long runs developed into a longer run than maybe what you had initially planned. Did you bother with any kind of fueling strategies? Did you think about the terrain you were going to run on? Was it going to change? Mm-hmm. Did you know that you were going to stay on tarmac, for example, or go off road? How did you plan for your runs?
So with tech wise, I was using Strava, and I was using my phone, to be honest with you, and I had just a kind of like a bag that went around me just to kind of put the phone in. With planning the runs, I was using Relive for a long time before my challenges, because
What's
I like
that?
It's Relive. You can basically track your run as well, but you can take photos while you're out on your run.
Okay.
And what it does is it plots your photos in your run and creates a story for you. So that was quite nice. But then I started using Strava during my runs, not just for any reason, but just because I've seen a lot of people using it. And actually through work, there was a leaderboard. There's a lot of runners. There's a running club in my work, which helped us keep motivated to see what other people were doing also. So that was good. The planning the runs, because after my first long couple runs, I was able to plan them a lot better. So, for example, where I stay in Kinghorn, I stay in a little village, but I was able to run into the town Kirkcaldy, and was able to run past Kirkcaldy into past that, and then plan where I was going to come back into Kinghorn. But as they got further, I was able to plan the runs further out.
Yeah.
And then plan back the way. And a lot of it was road running. There was a lot of country roads. I mean, there might be trails as well, but a lot of coastline as well. So a lot of different. And I tried to make sure there was a lot of elevation in there, a lot of hills. This might sound really like one of the people who go run me is like, you're an absolute freak. I love hills. I love running up hills. I love it. Honestly, I absolutely get a buzz of, when you hit the hill and you're just like, I pick up that pace.
Yeah.
And I find that really hard.
Do you kind of see that as a challenge to get up as strong and as fast as you can?
Yeah. I try and burst it. And to be honest with you, I find it hard running downhill.
Yeah, it's a completely different set of mechanics as well on the joints.
And that's where I felt my tweaks, not only physically as well, but when you're running downhill, I felt like the back of my calves and I feel like strains there as well. So I think that's probably where you could probably be a bit more injury prone when you're actually I felt like you're slapping a little bit.
Yeah.
But keeping myself fit, stretching all the time, because I didn't want to get injured through this 30 days.
So the injury, clearly from personal experience, I'm probably going through the worst injury I've ever had, from a point of not being able to do anything really from the waist down. So from making sure you avoided injury and your preparation in between runs, did you have any kind of warm up, cool down strategy?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I just stretched for about 10-15 minutes at the start of my run.
Yeah.
Just make sure I was nice and relaxed and ready to go. When I came back, I would always come back and I would come and sit on my grass and just lie down for 10-15 minutes. I think my neighbours sometimes thought somebody was getting shot or murdered in the garden, because I always said this. I had a finish, so I live in a street, obviously, but at the bottom of the street, I'd always set myself where I'd sprint from the bottom of the street right up, and it must be about 150 meters right to the top without stopping, and I'd done that every single run because it just gave me that kind of that you push yourself and you actually right to the end.
That's kind of reminiscent of after any long distance run, maybe even short runs, when you're close to the finish line.
Yeah.
You it's for your own benefit, but it's for anybody watching as well. You're finishing with some sort of strength, and once you've crossed it, you're busted.
Yeah, and do you know what? You're absolutely spot on, because in Kinghorn there's a race called the Black Rock 5, and it's really good. It runs out, and you run out around the Black Rock, which is in the 4th. And you come back and you run on sand, but you go straight up this. It's a massive hill, and as for the finish, and it's really the elevation. But you don't stop because there's hundreds of people watching you, so you're like, you want to get that momentum, don't you?
Yeah, there's a pride thing there, but that's quite interesting, because you can find a little bit more than maybe you felt that you had to give. You can just sometimes find that extra resource of energy or strength.
Yeah.
So, I got a couple of other techie kind of questions for anybody interested in the techie side of things. Did you have any fluids fueling strategy, or were you kind of out and back and then refueling when you go home? Sorry, just one more so you can get the two things together. Your shoes, your running shoes, because it sounds like you weren't always on the same surface. Did you use the same running shoes? Did you learn anything through your running shoes?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I had a running bottle which was full of water, and that's what I took up with me. Simple as that.
Yeah.
My running shoes, I'm a big trainer.
Big Adidas fan.
I'm an Adidas fan. So
just for the audience, how many pairs are we currently owning?
About 89. We've got about 89 pairs.
Jeez.
So I've purchased a couple during lockdown, but they had a really good sale on.
Collectors items.
Yeah. But I ran in a pair of they're called Adidas, and they're pink ones, but SL72s, but they're pink. I've got a cracking pair of pink trainers. I'll put a picture up, but they're red.
I share that. Yeah.
But they're absolutely like they're done now, to be honest with you. And I just invested in a pair of like a couple of new Adidas proper running shoes. That's something I've never really invested in, is proper running shoes.
Yeah.
But they're really comfy. They've done us. I had no problems with them. Like no blisters, nothing like that. Never strained us at all. I'd probably say, do you know what? I'm kind of that rough and ready runner. And
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of that rough and ready runner where I get up and I just do it. And go. But yeah, so the trainers, I'll stick a picture up for you. They're absolutely done, but they're beautiful. I love them. They're pink and they're so comfy. But fluids wise, it's like a handheld bottle.
Yeah.
And that just done me. And I guess through it, I just made sure that I done it in stages.
Yeah. I must admit, you were talking there about a handheld bottle. I don't know what it is, but that frustrates me, having something in my hand when I'm running. I used to do that with the kind of the grip type bottles.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
But now I'll either go out long enough knowing that I won't need anything, or I'll have a backpack running pack now.
Well, at the start, I exactly the same as you, Barney. I hated it, but the longer the runs went on, I needed it. So it came more of a need, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that worked for me.
Brilliant. Right. So work-life, family balance. You talked about your boys being involved in some way, but it's not as easy as folk think. Even though you're working from home, it's all very well that you're going to run 30 days straight. But that's you're looking for a lot of support at home to enable you to do that without an additional layer of pressure. Yeah. How did you manage it?
So as you know, so for the people who know, I work in people development. So I work in I train people, whether it be in like their own personal development, etc. And having boys at home who like were homeschooling, etc. And I'm not a teacher. I might be a trainer, but I'm not a teacher. And it's not easy, to be honest with you. Lucky I've got a supportive wife, and who kind of helps support the kids. Well, she's working also because she was a key worker. She was out supporting. She was delivering shielding parks, working at the food banks, etc. And my work's never been busier because, as you know, like for the people who know, I work for O2, and we closed all our stores. But every single one of our people started working from home. Now, we didn't furlough any of our staff, which was fantastic. And everybody started really wanting to be working in their own training and working on development. Yeah. So my work never became busier. So we were banging in easily 6-7 hours a day, delivering online sessions to 150 people at a time. And after you've done that, you're really tired. But the motivation behind it to juggle that work-life balance, either you've done it early in the morning or you got out straight after it, and just straight away after it, you didn't stop. You just got straight away after you finished work and done it. And some of the days was just, let's get this out of the way. And you'll notice that with the 5Ks, because some of them are fast. You're like, let's just get this done and get it out of the way. But really lucky with my work-life balance. The kids have been brilliant. Brilliant's been so supportive. Family's been so supportive as well. But like yourself, you've worked in the industry. It's a busy industry. But yeah, it's been good, and the people at work have been amazing, because I've had so many sponsorships from the people at work, which has been good. So
how much? Sorry, just again for those watching.
Yeah.
Is it a charity or is it GoFundMe?
So we've done a GoFundMe page, which will be going into Andy's GoFundMe page for raising money for his mum. We've raised £760, and to be honest, we only set a target of going out and raising 300. So we've raised £760, which is absolutely brilliant.
Sorry, you said that, was it 15,000 you were trying to contribute towards?
15,000 towards it, yeah. And
any idea how much they're at the minute?
Yeah, they're right through that, but we know the costs and that are going to be more and more. But it's amazing to see how not only Dundee's come together as a community, but just a massive Dundee United fan. So like Dundee United supporters, the players, etc. But the supporters, the players, everything, and it's just amazing to see just how, as a city, how much everybody's come together to really just kind of help and support. And out with as well, we've seen so much out with, so yeah, that's good. And it just puts things into perspective.
I don't know, maybe we'll be able to raise a few shekels.
Maybe, yeah. I always say, even a quid.
Every little helps, without a doubt.
Yeah, even a quid.
So the 30 days, you're going through it. You've already talked about what you do as a person, and I know you very well. You've got a good intuition around the reality of how things impact on people. So what did you learn about yourself through the 30 days and on reflection, having done it, and possibly even considering, knowing that you attempted a similar challenge, but it never worked out back in November last year? So what did you learn about yourself, and is there any advice you'd give somebody thinking about taking on a similar challenge that they've never quite achieved, but it's always an itch they've been dying to scratch?
The last time, as you know, I made excuses the last time. I put too much in the way, and maybe used excuses, I was working, or I'm tired, or I'm going away, etc. I've got the kids, and I did make excuses, but this time I made no room for excuses at all. And I think it's easy for us to get stuck in that fixed mindset that we shy away from that challenge, or we kind of give ideas from the back. But it's great to encourage other people. But I think once you're in it, and the days flew by, I remember being in day 25 thinking, I've got 5 days to go. How good does that feel? But
hang on a sec though. Hang on. How did it feel at day 5 when you 25 days to go?
Oh, I thought, well, day 5.
How did you deal with that?
So day 5, I remember I was with day 3 or 4, and I thought to myself, this is going to be a long road. But I remember we were going into the weekend, and I was running with Neil Loudon, and we went on one of our long runs, and I realised, I think Neil's about 65 and he's training for the London Marathon. I thought, wait a minute here. This puts it in his perspective. He's nailing this. He can go for days and days running. And I thought that, and I had a lot of people around me that created that bit of a positive mindset around that. So I think there were certainly times where you set yourself a 30-day challenge, but you need to sometimes take a step back and realise, where is your pain points? Where's the positive moments? And looking back at some of the messages people sent me, that really helped, because at some points you're like, right, okay, but I think when you've got something, a goal you want to achieve, like, so I had a goal I wanted to achieve, but I had a reason to do that. I think when we set that goal or that purpose you want, I think anything in life, I think that really helps you.
Just reminding yourself the reason you're doing what you're doing, and it's not just a personal reason, it's a bit bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because that then gives you more motivation. Because if it's only personal, I think that's one of the problems. Any of the things that I've set off to do with the best of intentions, but then for whatever reason it's stopped. You might say given up, but it's just stopped. Is that it's probably been a very personal thing, which has meant that I've been able to justify to myself I can do it again. I can stop this at this point because of whatever reasons. So I think having it's not meant to be a development call, but it's having the why.
Yes, yeah.
So that
yeah.
you have got that purpose to understand
Yeah.
each day is something which you can commit to and can continue following.
It's like you say though, like you know what you want to achieve, you know the why behind it, and sometimes it's the journey getting there. That's the how you're going to do it. And
Yeah.
I think and your path might change throughout those 30 days as well. But one thing that really helped me was when I done my runs in the morning, it gave me a lot of clarity for the rest of my day. It really focused me for the rest of my day.
Yeah.
And I found that I actually become more productive as well.
Yeah.
When I was running. So actually I was clearing myself.
Okay.
Actually I felt I was becoming more productive, not only around the house, not only in my family, but at work as well. And I think that's kind of changed. I know we're only in the 10th of the next month, but I really feel that's changed me as a person also, or even helped me just develop a little bit more in that.
I'm conscious of time. I think we could probably talk for hours. There's a couple of things I was going to say. Did you change your diet or anything around how you were living through that month? Did you notice any changes? Did you crave anything in a different way? You obviously did by your reaction. and on the back of that, what's next?
Okay, so if anybody knows me who's watching this, and I'm sure it will get shared, is I was I'm not saying addicted. I had to delete Just Eat off my phone, right? I'm not joking, Barney. Right? I would order Just Eat, or I'd be 10:30 at night, and I'd be hungry, and I'd just order something off Just Eat, right? But my metabolism was not the same as it was when I was younger, and
no, it's not.
It's not at all. And so for me, my diet changed. So I would be eating more scrambled eggs, more omelets. I'd be drinking more water during the day, etc. I have a couple of litres. So I was more conscious, eating more fruit. So I really became more conscious of what I was eating.
Yeah.
But I felt better as well. Like I generally thought I was fit in the head, fit in the mind, but I felt better. And I wasn't seeing a lot of people during lockdown because we were. But when we did, there was a couple of people who said, "You've lost so much weight, etc." Which was good to hear. The hair is a different story because people are saying it's starting to look like my mum. So that's a different story. That's a completely different story. And I think I probably would raise more money if I said I was going to shave this off. But that's not happening. But yeah, generally my diet completely changed. And what was the other point? Sorry, Barney. It was
just what's next? You've done that. You've achieved your 30-day goal. So what's next?
Marathon. I'm doing I'm going to sign up for my first ever marathon now. The London Marathon's obviously, I think it's still going ahead. I don't think that's been cancelled yet. And we've got obviously a relationship with NSPCC.
You mean this September?
Well, yeah. Has it been moved to October?
October maybe. Need to check that. I think what we'll do is I'll update that because I think that'll get cancelled.
Yeah. So if it gets cancelled, so my next thing, I've not registered for it yet, but I'm sure if I get in touch with O2 and SPCC, there might be a couple of spaces available. I do think I'm ready for it if there is a space, but if not, that's the next on my list. I'm going to do a marathon 100%.
Would you consider a virtual marathon? There's lots of events. I was going to do the virtual West Highland Way middle of June, which I haven't been able to, which was part of my motivation for doing the 30 days through June. It was because that was more or less slap bang in the middle.
So, Barney, if you want to do that together, I'd be up for that. And you know what? I always look back at your pictures when you used to show me, etc. And honestly, just you inspired me so much when you used to go running. Not only that, but some of your stories, your motivational stories, and cheers, you know, I can listen to you for absolute days with that, and your analogies, etc. And that was probably the starting point of this whole challenge and the fundraiser. Was a massive thing, but you going out and doing that, I thought that really inspired me to get up and go and start it.
Well, thanks for that, mate. Thank you very much. I'm really conscious of time. We could probably talk and talk. We might need to do this again and catch up on what your training is like and what your marathon commitment is going to be going forward. I think what we'll do again, for those that do watch this and maybe post it, we'll share the link that you've got for the GoFundMe pages, because even though you've reached the initial targets are flexible things, you know. They can move, and if we can, like you said, even get an extra couple of quid towards it, that's going to be a good thing and well worth sharing. And I hope your friend's mum gets the treatment that she obviously needs.
Thank you, Barney.
So I'm going to thank you for your time. It's a Friday night, like we said at the beginning. Your wife and your kids are probably saying, "What's Dad doing?" So I'm sure there's a cold beer waiting for you. Or are you going out for a run?
So I'm going to go for tomorrow morning. We went for a 6K yesterday. We'll look at in Joshua. So I'm going to go up. Went out on the bikes tonight with them, and we're going to go for a run tomorrow.
Brilliant.
So I'm looking forward to his football training starts because I'm actually coaching Lucas's football team now. So I've done my part 1 and part 2. So remember I told you that was one of my things when I stopped playing football myself. I was going to coach the wee man's team. So I'm coaching them now. So and with the announcements today and stuff and that through grassroots and the SYFA. So that's
a lot to hear. I think they're looking to get back to full training in 2 weeks' time. They've been doing it in smaller groups recently, which has been great.
Nah, but Barney, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been great. I'm going to say to everybody, thanks for watching. Be cool. I'm Barney Black. I'll see you young.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers all. Bye.
Hey everyone, I just want to do a quick video just to say thank you for all your support and your donations through my 30-day challenge. I've just smashed my last run of the 30-day challenge and in total we've ran so far 239k, so just over 239k, which roughly works out about nearly 149 miles. We're 89k over what I set out to do. So just a big thanks to everybody for supporting me, the text messages that I've had from you guys. We've raised over 545 quid. Only set out to raise 300, but I do reckon that we can get to easily the £600 mark tonight. I'm going to leave it open for a couple of days before I withdraw it and I send it to Andy so you can put it towards the cause. But I just want to say a big thank you. It means a lot. It's just been brilliant. 30 days to keep at it, the motivation. It's been hard some days. It's not been easy, I'm not going to lie. But to get out and once it's done, you remember why you're doing it. Guys, just a massive thank you. So just a wee update for me. I'll update my latest run in the post. I'll put the link in there for you guys to donate if you want. Even a quid goes a long way, so we do appreciate that. So guys, thank you very much and have a nice evening. See you later. Bye bye.